In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make this cool echo effect with a line of text. The first step is to create my text layer. With the text tool, click anywhere in the composition window, and I'm going to type in echo. And I'm going to change the color to white so I can see it. And with my align menu, I'll align it horizontally and vertically, centered in the frame. Now with the selection tool selected, right-click on the text, go to the transform menu and center anchor point in layer content. Now everything's centered in the frame. The next thing to do is put in a movement pattern. Type P on your keyboard to bring up the position animation line. And starting at about half a second, I'm going to put keyframes, each about 15 frames apart. And I'm going to move the text layer just to the edges of title safe. The last middle keyframe will be aligned using the align menu, just so I'm right back at the center. The next thing I want to do is flatten out those curves a little bit, and I'm going to select the points and just drag the handles out on each one. So there's a slightly smoother transition from up to down and across. Now I'll just scrub through and see what that looks like. That's pretty good. The next step is to box select all of the keyframes and make them easy ease by pressing F9 on your keyboard. That might be a little quick, so with them all selected, hold down Option or Alt on a PC and click and drag on the last keyframe to stretch them out proportionately. Now there's a little bit of a pause at the beginning and a little pause at the end where the text is steady in the center. It's always a good idea to give your readers a chance to read something while it's not moving. Now I'm going to make this a shapes layer. Right-click on the layer, go to Create Shapes from Text. Now the shapes layer is visible and the text layer is invisible. Now to add the echo effect, go to the Effects and Presets menu and search Echo. Drag that effect onto the shapes layer. And we can make some adjustments in the Effects Control panel. The first is the number of echoes. I'm going to make that 30. Oof, that's a lot. We can always adjust that later. The next thing to adjust is the operator. I'm going to change that to composite in front so that my reference layer is sitting in the front. And then we'll change the time to 0.0233. Now lastly, maybe I want to reduce the number of echoes, so I'll change that to 15. Now that text is pretty hard to read, especially when it's moving. So let's change the fill and stroke in the top menu. So with the shapes layer selected, go up to the shapes menu, click on the fill text and take off the fill. Then click on the stroke text and turn on the fill. And I'm going to raise up the width of my stroke to about 5. So now we have more of an echo effect that might be a little easier to read, but still, it's not quite clear. So let's re-engage the text layer, turn the visibility on, and move it above the echo shapes layer. So now I've got this, which is just fine. But I'm finding the white doesn't quite fit in with the red, so I'm going to change the fill of the text layer in the character menu to black. And voila, my echo effect.